Alright, so in this video we're looking at how to find x or y intercepts from a table of ordered pairs. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this by hand, and I'm also going to show you how to do it in Desmos that you would be allowed to use if you're taking a STAR test at the end of the year. So, one of the things I would do by hand if I wanted to figure out my x and y intercept, okay, what I would do is I would find the slope first. Okay, first and foremost, I would find the slope. So how do we find the slope? We find the gap between what's called the change in our y's over the change in our x's. So we just have to think, like, what's the gap between a negative 68 and a negative 51? And I believe that to be 17 units. Okay, so if you wanted to know what the gap was, you could take negative 68 and you could take away a negative, what was it, 51, and press enter, and you get 17. Okay? All right, so what does that mean? All right, that means right now I would literally have to add, to go from here to here, all right, I have to add 17 units to get there. All right, so if I have negative 68 and I add 17, that's how I get negative 51. That's why I put a plus 17. So if I'm going from a negative, so basically this one I did backwards. It's supposed to be, I should have done negative 51 minus a negative 68. So my apologies, but that's how I got to a 17. All right, so here we got to find the gap between these. All right, and the gap between these guys looks like it's going to be an 11, like 11 units. So if you did negative 68 minus a negative 79, that's supposed to be a 68, not a 38. There we go. You can see that that's 11 units. So what does that tell me? That tells me my slope. So what is my slope? 17 over 11. So here we go. Y equals 17 over 11 x plus b. Okay. So it says, what is the what? X intercept. The x-intercept is when the y value is equal to 0. So the x-intercept is when this y value right here is equal to 0. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to plug in some numbers right here. I'm just going to take any two random numbers. I'll call this is my x and this is my y. So I'm just going to randomly plug these in. So that's a negative 34. So I'll do negative 34. All right, equals 17 over 11 times, and my x value is negative 57. And I'm going to add b. Okay, so if we were to do this by hand, I'm going to find my y-intercept, and then I will plug things in for 0 and solve for my x-intercept. So if I have negative 34 equals, we got 17 over 11 times negative 57. All right, 17 over 11. All right, times, what do we got? Negative 57. All right. That's an ugly fraction right there. Negative 969 over 11. All right, negative 969 over 11 plus b. That means I got to add 969 over 11 to both sides. All right, negative 34 plus that. All right, plus, oh, hold on, I got to do that. I got to change it from 969 over 11. All right, and then I'm going to basically take away 34. All right, take away 34. All right, press enter. 595 over 11. Wow, that's an ugly y-intercept. Okay, so our y-intercept, our b value, is equal to 595 over 11. So what's our equation over here? Our equation is y equals 17 over 11x plus 595 over 11. So if I'm going to solve for my x-intercept, I got to make my y value equal to a 0. So I got to make this equal to 0. Got an ugly slope. I got an even uglier y-intercept. Okay, So what do I have to do? I literally have to take away this fraction from both sides. And I get negative 595 over 11 equals 17 over 11x. Well, how in the world am I supposed to do this? Well, when we're dealing with fractions, we like to what's called multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply both sides by 11 over 17, and it'll make it a lot easier. Okay? So these 11s cancel each other out, and you're basically left with negative 595 over 17. So what is negative 595 divided by 17? Hopefully it's a nice, neat number like, I don't know, negative 35. It is. Look at that. So our x-intercept is literally negative 35, 0. So I'm going to put negative 35. That's what I would have to do if I was doing it by hand and only had a calculator, but I didn't have Desmos. But I have Desmos. So you know what? We're going to show you how to do it in Desmos because, let's just face it, this is a lot of work. So here we go. So we're going to go to Desmos. And we're just going to type in, we're going to make a table. And make a table. And then I'm just going to look at my numbers. What are my numbers? Negative 79, negative 68. Okay, so here we go. Negative 79, negative 68. Then I have, let me look at it again. We got negative 68, negative 51. All right, negative 68, negative 51. And then the last thing that we have is negative 57, negative 34. All right, negative 57 and negative 34. So this will only work if you know the phrase that pays. If you know the phrase that pays, it'll work. You're like, what the heck is the phrase that pays? This, y1, tilde. There's a cool little tilde. That's a little squiggly line. We called it a tilde. mx1 plus b. All right? And so what you do, all right, is when you type this in, you look for the x-intercept and the y. Look at there. There's the x-intercept. There's the y-intercept. See that 54.091? What did we say the y-intercept was? It was what? 595 divided by 11? Do you see that ugly fraction that we found? There's the decimal, but we couldn't type this into the Khan Academy. Well, we can type in what? Negative 35.0. So the next one we're going to do is going to be so much faster because I'm not going to do it by hand. I'm just going to literally just use Desmos, and we're going to find all the answers just in Desmos. All right? There we go. So all I'm going to do now is just switch up the numbers. This says what's the what? What is the y-intercept? So if you guys see how it says negative, I'm just going to switch out the numbers. Here we go. I'm going to take a screenshot so I can take a look at it faster. Negative 28, negative 54. Got it. Let's see here. Negative 28, negative 54. Okay. Then what do we have? Negative 21, negative 40. All right. Negative 21, negative 40. Okay. Then what do we have? Negative 14, negative 26. All right. Negative 14, negative 26. Now, what did you notice something? Hopefully you noticed something. I didn't change y1 tilde mx1 plus b. I just changed the numbers that are in the table. And it makes my life so much easier. I literally just have to go, okay, there you are, y-intercept. Look at there. What's my y-intercept? 0, 2. If it asked me for my x-intercept, what would it be? Negative 1, 0. So all I'm going to type in is what? 0 and a 2, right? 0 and a 2. Now, if you want to know how to do it by hand, you just hit see step-by-step solution. Okay? And look what they did. They did the same thing I did. They found the slope. Okay? They found the slope. And then they kept making the answer, kept moving it till the answer was equal to 0. Okay? So they kept working their way down to 0, where the x was 0 and the y, and you had your y-intercept. All right? So I'm going to do one more, just so you guys get the understanding. Let's do one more. Intercepts from a table. There we go. Intercepts from a table. It's loading. I'll pause the video. This one asks for the x-intercept. So it looks like here I'm going to take a little screenshot right here. I got 2236, 2754. Got it. Okay, 2236. Okay, got it. All right. See here. 2236. And I think it was 2754. Yep, 2754. Okay. And then what was the last one? Let's take a good look at it. It was a 32 and a 72. All right, 32 and a 72. Now you'll notice I am using what this thing's called Desmos Texas Star version. So this is the actual version to be allowed to use on the test. Can you guys see where the y-intercept is right there? Negative 43.2. But if I want to find the x-intercept, all I got to do is zoom out. And where's my x-intercept? Boom. Right there. So you just got to be able to do what? Move around the graph and find the stuff that you need. That's a 12, 0. That's a 0, negative 43.2. You could type either of these in because these are discrete decimals. That's 12, and that's an integer. And this is a discrete decimal, which is negative 43.2. So I'm going to type in a 12, 0 for my answer. 12, 0. Why am I typing in a 12 and a 0? Because it asked me for my x-intercept. If it asked me for my y-intercept, then I would actually use my y-intercept. But it doesn't. It asked me for my x-intercept. Okay? That's all you got to do. All right? Hope that was useful, helpful. Get it done. Have a good day.